Okay, Ghetts, hit and run. The last week we've seen so much content on this matter and this situation, and sadly, it's very sad all round for the young man that lost his life and for what's happened to Ghetts. Some would disagree. Some would say he deserves exactly what's coming to him in XYZ, but it's just sad all round, a tragedy all round, in my opinion, for Ghetts, him, his family, this young man, Yubin Tamang, is it, and his family, all round tragedy. And condolences to his family. It's RIP to the young man that passed away. I'd like to just highlight a few things that I haven't seen being spoken about in this situation. The first thing is what actually happened in the footage. If you look at the original footage of the accident, and it was an accident up until the point he got hit. The rest is maybe not an accident, but up until that point where he got hit, there is a video, a longer video, which shows a car coming down that road, driving down that road, before you see Ghetts' car, which is confirmed to be Ghetts' car. Some say allegedly, but it's been confirmed now that was his car. Before you see his car come down the road and hit Yubin, there's a car that drives before his car. If you look at the speed, now see, the reason I mention this is, number one, is a lot of people talking about why is he driving 80 miles, why is he driving 100 miles. Look at the speed of the car that came before his, and then look at the speed that Ghetts driving down the road. Now look properly and tell me if you honestly think he's driving 80 miles per hour. He wasn't driving 80 miles per hour. He probably was just about hitting 50, if that. I reckon he was probably doing about just 40, 45. It looks fast because of the way it happens, but look realistically and think of a car coming down the road on a residential road at 80 miles per hour, then think of a car coming down the road on a narrow residential road at 40, 50. It's going to look fast, and it is fast because those roads are meant to be like 20 miles per hour roads. So, or maybe it was a 30 road. Yeah, actually it could be a 30 miles per hour road. Now if it's a 30 miles per hour road and you're driving 40, it's a big difference. If you're driving like 32, 33, it's not. But when you're going 10 miles over the speed limit, it starts to look a bit more. So anyway, the car that came before didn't seem to be going that much slower. It was going slower, but not by that much, going that much slower than when Ghetts' car comes through. That car passed, you see someone walking on the side of the road, then you see Yubin step out. I think it's Yubin, excuse me if I got his name, Yubin Tamang. Young man steps out onto the road. He doesn't look left, he doesn't look right. Okay, now that's his part. Whenever we're stepping out onto a road, you need to look as far down the road you can and look the other side and then step out. But unfortunately, he didn't do that. It's late at night. He's probably done it 100 times, crossed that road, coming back from work or whatever he's coming back from. Didn't look. Now, when he did realize what was coming towards him, I'm guessing if you think about it from his perspective, he would have turned, looked, and just seen bright car headlights coming at him. He would have probably been blinded because how close from where it was, the distance. He would have been blinded. He would not have been able to make out anything. He would have just seen lights coming at him fast. And his decision, because he couldn't judge the distance because of the brightness, I'm guessing this is what happened. His natural instinct was to try and continue in the direction that he was walking, even though he was more closer to the driver's side of the car. Had he had been kind of like, he was in the middle of the road when he realized. Then he tried to run across, and that, unfortunately, that decision is where Ghetts' car came and took him out. Now, coming out of his perspective and looking at it from Ghetts' perspective, now imagine driving down the road. You're going a bit over the speed limit like many people do. I drive by the speed limit, really. I'm the person that people are beeping and flashing and stuff. Now we've gone to his perspective. He's driving, imagine he's driving, he's had a drink, he's had a smoke. That's been confirmed by the test. It doesn't make him drunk though. It just confirmed he had alcohol and weed in his system. How many people drive with alcohol and weed in their system? Every day, all day, every day. A lot of people, even worse, doing worse things. So anyway, he's driving, and imagine he's operating his phone that's in the dock, or maybe not in the dock, in his hand, someone's text or something, and he's driving. He's looked up at the road, as we do, looked back at the phone, looked up again, continued doing what he's doing, and when he's looked up, too late, bang. Now, take away the drink, take away the weed, that could happen to anyone. This is why it's important that even though we have the phone in the dock. Yeah, it's made me realize how much times I'm doing faffing around with the phone, whilst, whether it be trying to do maps or whatever. But in those small moments when you're looking at the phone, anything can happen if you're going at that speed. Now, the speed he was going at was clearly over the limit, and that's why when he would have realized that, because there was zero slowdown or zero brake, that's one, why it looks so fast, because normally you'd hear some type of screeching or someone trying to slow down. Now, because there was no slowdown, that's what makes me believe that Ghetts at that moment was fully distracted by something. I don't know what it is. Could have been smoking, things dropped down on his lap. Who knows? Anything can happen, and that accident would happen, yeah? Now, when he's hit the guy, that's where, had he have got out, obviously, to offer his help in whatever way for what he had just done to somebody, the whole thing would be different. Now, unfortunately, because he was tested positive, he will be facing something regardless. But he would have been making the right move. He would have done the right moves. It looked like he's taken accountability for what he's just done. But unfortunately, we all know what's happened and what the rest of the story was. But just a few things. Doesn't necessarily mean he was drunk. And two, that could have happened to anyone that's distracted at the moment, drink or alcohol or no drink or alcohol. Okay, so just remember that could be any one of us that happened to. Now, when he's hit Yubin, that's where it all went wrong. And this is what I believe. I believe that many people that are leaving these comments of, he should have stopped, he should have did this, this is disgusting, this, that, it is all true, but I believe that many of the people that are commenting would have ended up doing the same thing. It sounds good, but I believe many would have ended up doing the same thing. Panicked, it's late at night, oh my God, what have I done? And get off the scene and try and do what Ghetts did. Yeah, that's what I believe would, like, many of the same people believe in those comments. And that's why I say, you never know until you're in that situation. You may think that you would jump out and you'll do this and you do that, but you've got milliseconds to make a decision. Do I get out? I've had a drink. I'm going jail. I'm going jail if I get out this car. I'm going to go and get out this car, help this young man, and after that I'm going jail. Or I'm going to try and make a getaway and hopefully not get caught. That's not the right thing to do. But sadly, this is what many, not just Ghetts, many people do this. And that's what he did. He had a moment, just a split moment. Do I stop? Do I go? And he chose the wrong thing. Now, when he chose that wrong decision, in the panic of it all, that led to a chain of many wrong decisions. Obviously, like they said that his CCTV picked him up at home. That's obviously a big mistake. If you're saying, okay, I've decided I'm going to try and get away with this, he's driven to his house forgetting that he's got CCTV. That just shows how the mind was just all over the place at this moment, as it would be to someone that's sane, half sane. Now, if you're a nutter, then it won't matter. You just drive home and just act like you do it every Tuesday. But this is someone who's panicking. And I'm not justifying what he's doing. I'm just explaining the facts of the matter. So he's panicking. He's come into this thing with his car. He's done whatever. Then he's decided, I'm going to go and park the car around, because what am I doing with the car here? Correct, obviously. And he's moved the car, gone to move the car, not even far enough. Come back. The police have come. They found the keys to the car. Someone's given his number plate. They found the keys to the car. They've gone down like they would. Of course, they would do a sweep around the area. Found the car. Now, so all of the decisions. They've come, he's decided to play dumb. One mistake, two mistake, three mistake. So that one decision has just led to a complete chain of just wrong decisions. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, meanwhile the guy's still in the road dying. So, but the speed of what he was traveling, I reckon 45. It just looks terrible because there was no slowdown. But just look properly. He's not doing 80 miles per hour. If he was doing 80 miles per hour and the camera stayed, you would have seen him go whoom. That's what it would have looked like. But it wasn't like that. He was going over the speed limit, but he was going at a speed that a lot of people do down the road. I've seen it all day, every day. Yeah, the only problem was he was under the influence. Had he been not under the influence, I believe that would have, he probably knew at the moment, oh my gosh, I've had a drink, I've had a smoke, I can't. Had he had not, and he got out, oh my gosh, what have I got? He's gone over, he's trying to call the ambulance, trying to get help. you know, the police come, what's happened here, sir? We're going to breathalyze you, we're going to test you. He's tested not positive. Okay, now they're going to look into it. They're going to find that footage. What speed was he going? They're going to work out that he was going too fast on that road for what that road is saying. They will say, okay, you're speeding. So the charge, and then unfortunately he passed away. It's going to be a death now. So is it death by dangerous driving? It's still death by dangerous driving because you're speeding on a road where you shouldn't have been speeding. And speeding being over the speed limit. That's what I mean by speeding. Whether it's a 30 road and you're going 40, now you're speeding. It's 20 road, you're going 30, you're speeding. Doesn't matter. It's still death by dangerous driving. If I'm wrong, correct me. So, but you know, I'm just trying to say that this literally could have happened to so many people. Like even the people that are commenting saying this, that, he should this, that. So many of you could have made that same mistake without drink or alcohol or anything, just faffing around on your phone or just not being aware of the road. Now, being aware of the road, this goes back to the young man that was crossing. When he stepped out, I don't know if he had headphones or not. I don't know if Ghetts' car is an electric car, why he couldn't hear, but the way he was crossing the road and he was not aware of his surroundings. Had he have just turned and looked once down the road, he would have seen lights coming and only a fool would continue to cross. But he didn't, and when he did realize, it was just too late. And I saw the moment that he looked and realized the car was coming towards him, he was more on the driver's side. He was just starting to enter that side of the road, and he unfortunately decided to try and run. Had he tried to jump backwards, he might have made it. But I believe that because he was probably blinded by the lights and he was heading that direction and facing that direction, he also had a split decision to make a choice, and his choice was to start to try and run across the road. And unfortunately, so that's just my opinion on the situation. Unfortunately, we all have to make choices in life, and Ghetts made a series of wrong decisions that's now going to cost him a long time, unfortunately. And I feel bad for the family of Yubin. I feel bad for Ghetts. I feel bad for Ghetts' family. I feel bad for the man that lost his life. I feel bad for all of them because it's just a terrible mistake that happened. So many mistakes were made. Yubin made the mistake not to look left and right. Ghetts made the mistake not to be aware of what's happening on the road. Maybe he fell asleep. Who knows? Maybe if Ghetts hadn't have had that accident with Yubin, maybe Ghetts could have not even made it home because of another situation that could have happened. And that's also a fact. You know, if we would have all woke up to Ghetts has had an accident, not to speak, but just it's a possibility that could have been a different news kind of come. Ghetts has not made it home due to his speed and lost control, whichever, and he's hit a lamppost instead. Yeah, you see, that would have been the story there. But anyway, that's enough of my point of view on this situation. But you know, just a few things I haven't seen no one talking about. The actual speed he was going realistically, and comparing to the first car that came through, and the fact that this could have happened to anyone that's messing around on your mobile phone or just not being aware for whatever reason. Yeah, it could happen. The speed is what I think. The speed obviously makes a big difference. Had you been going 20, the impact would not have been the same. But guess what? It could have still been enough for him to have the same ending that he had, but it would not be as catastrophic, the damage, obviously. And this is why me personally, I don't mess around. I don't speed and do all these things. I drive by the speed limit. That's just me though. But you know, let's just take something from this and learn, and just remember that this could happen to you. Know what, since this situation has happened, when I'm driving, I've noticed that how much times I'm messing around with the phone. I have my phone in the dock because I've had points before me having my phone in my hand whilst I was driving. I got points, and I know just leave it in the dock and then operate from there. But even that, whilst you're trying to faff around and trying to get your maps up, that moment you're not aware, you're not 100% aware what's happening. You think you are, but if you're going at any speed, like if you're going over 20 miles per hour, anything can happen at that moment, and you'll just not be fast enough to stop. And I've realized how much times, oh, that was close. Oh, you just remember what's happened to Ghetts. Get off, just leave it. So let's all take that from this situation. Everyone needs to really think about when you're driving or when you're on the road walking, be aware of your surroundings.